Alright, so let's start with saying this part. When it comes down to add puzzle assignments, all the answers are in the video clips. So if you are actually watching and listening, and you are able to find the answers within the add puzzle, or if you missed or you didn't hear clearly, you could go back and rewatch and get the answers. All right, so having said that, let's go to the review of what we did in chapter 2.1. So if you have a 3 square, that means 3 times 3. And here we have some, let's go down some vocabulary. This base, this 3 is said to be base, and this 2 is said to be exponent. Therefore, sometimes it is called exponent rules, or sometimes it is called the power rules. The reason that it's called the power rule is base and exponent together is said to be power. So, but it has to do with the exponents, therefore it is exponent rules. And together, base and exponent together, we set it to be power rules. And let's relate it to 2.2 and 2.3. So 2.2 is something like scientific notation. So if you have a 2.3 times 10, what is that equal to? So I'm going to use my calculator. So I'm going to go, hey, what is 2.2 times 10? I'm going to move it over here. 2.3 times 10. That is 23. All right, so I'm going to write that. Hey, that was a 23. So that was a 23. What about 2.3 times 100? And I know it's going to be 230, but let's make sure. 2.3 times 100. That is 230. So let's write that, 230. So that is 230. What if I have a 2.3 times 1000? And you could already tell it's going to be 2300, but let's confirm, 2.3 times 1000. And you see this is going to be 2300. So I'm going to write 2300. And if I have just one more, 2.3 times 10,000, then we know this is going to be 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 zeros. If I have 2.3 divided by 10, then what do you think it is? It's going to be 0.23, 0.23, but let's confirm. 2.3 divided by 10, which is 0.23. So I'm going to write that 0.23. 0.23. If I have a 2.3 divided by 100, which is, I know it's going to be 0.023, but let's confirm. 2.3 divided by 100, which is 0.023. So I'm going to write 0.023. If I have a 2.3 divided by 1000, you guys already know it's going to be 0.0023. If I have a 2.3 divided by 10,000, then you know it's going to be 0.000001. 2, 3. So let's confirm. So my calculator 2.3 divided by 1000 is 0.0023. 2.3 divided by 10,000 will give you, oh, now it's going to give, beginning to give you the scientific notation. By the way, this E means base 10. So 2.3 times 10 to the negative 4. That's what they're talking about. So you know what? Now let's, since even the calculator do not want to write everything, let's write into a scientific notation. Instead of writing in standard form, this without using base, exponent, or power, it's called a standard form. Now let's write into a scientific notation. So I'm going to write in the first one, which is 2.3 times 10 to the first power, which is 23. By the way, if you do not see any exponent, there's understood 1. Any number, if you do not see the exponent, there is understood 1. Okay, so this one is going to be, that means the same thing. And this guy is 2.3 times 100 is 10 times 10, therefore it's going to be 10 squared. And 2.3 times 1000 is, you multiply 10 3 times, so 10 cubed. And 2.3 times 10 times is 2.3 times 10,000 is, you multiply 10 1, 2, 3, 4 times, so 10 to the 4th power. And let's move on to the division. That means 2.3. Now, do you see this is a division? Since it's a division, we are going to, does you anybody remember it's a division? That we are going to change the multiplication and 1 over 10. And this is going to be 2.3. We change division into multiplication, but flip the next one. 1 over 100. This one is 2.3. Change the division into multiplication, but now it's going to be 1 over 1000. And this one is 2.3 times 1 over 10,000. Now we learned something about 1 over 10, which is 2.3 times 10 to the negative 1. Do you remember that? If it's a negative exponent, you flip and put 1, so they mean the same thing. This guy will become 2.3 times 10 to the negative 2. Remember 100 is 10 times 10? And this one is going to be 2.3 times 10 to the negative 3, because 1000 is 10 cubed, but since it is a fraction, we're going to put in the negative, so they mean the same thing. We have a 2.3 times 10 to the negative 4th power. All right, now let's find out the pattern. So I'm going to use another color. In this case, we are green. Let's find out the pattern. So what's the pattern here? 2.3 times 10 become a 23. Or, do you see that? 2.3 times the 10 to the first power become a 23. So this base 10 or power of 10, that is we set to be, so when you have a base 10, that means it moves decimal point. So base 10 is a special character. What it does is it moves a decimal point. If it's a positive, if the exponent is positive, exponent is positive, then it goes to the right, and decimal point goes to the right. And if exponent is negative, What do you think? The decimal point goes to the left. So I will show you. The first one right here, number 1, 2.3. Do you see the red decimal point right here? And since my exponent is 1, I'm going to move my decimal point only once. Now become new decimal point is after 3. Now it's a 23. 2.3, so I'm going to write, hey, 2.3. Since my exponent is 2, do you see there's a 10 square? I'm going to move my decimal twice to the right. 1, 2, that's my new decimal point, and create a 0. Do you see the 230? Now, if I have a 2.3, my exponent is 3, I'm going to move my decimal place to the right, and it's a positive 3. I'm going to move it to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. That's my new decimal point, and create a 0 inside a cup. 2300. Now I'm going to do the same thing, 2.3, but my exponent is a 4, positive 4, so I'm gonna go to the right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a new decimal. I'm going to create a 0 inside of cup. Do you see that is equal to each other? Now I'm going to do the same thing on the top one. 2.3 times 10 to the negative 1. So I'm going to write 2.3, but my exponent is negative. Do I move my decimal to the right or left? Left, because it's at negative. I'm going to go to left. That's my new decimal point. So it is going to be 0.23. Of course, I have a 0.23. All right, moving on to this guy. I have a 2.3. My exponent is negative 2 this time. So I'm going to move my decimal point to the left. 1, 2. That's my new decimal point. Create a 0 inside of cup. 0.023. 0.023. They're equal to each other. All right, moving on to the next one. I have a 2.3. This time my exponent is negative 3. Since it's negative, I'm going to go to left. How many? 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So that's my new decimal point. And create a 0, 0. So 0.0023. 0.0023. They are equal to each other. And then moving on to the last one. 2.3. My exponent is negative 4. So I'm going to move my decimal point to the left 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Create a new decimal and create a 0 inside of cup. So I have a 0.00023, which is 0.00023. They are equal to each other. So I'm going to rewind. Does not matter what that is. So I'm gonna, for example, if I have a 4.5 and multiply by 10 to the 5th power versus if I have a 4.5 times 10 to the negative 4. Since it's a positive exponent, I'm going to move my decimal point to the right. This tells me it's to the right, because it's a positive. And this tells me, since it's negative, it's going to go to left. And since it's positive 5, I'm going to go right 5. Since it's negative 4, I'm going to go to left 4. What is going to right 4? Your decimal point. What is going to left 4? Your decimal point. So I'm going to do this one exactly the same thing over here again. So I have a 4.5. I'm going to move my decimal point right 5. I'm going to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my new decimal point, and create a 0 inside of cup. So that's going to be 4.5 times 10 to the 5th power is actually equal to 4, 5, how many 0? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's move on to here. So I have a 4.5. This time, left 4. I'm going to move my decimal point left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my new decimal point. Create a 0 inside of cup. So now I have 0.00045. All right. Hope this is helpful.